Hello, beautiful bookish family. Welcome back to Coffee Over Apples. My name is Steph. This camera is a little crooked. Is that better? Okay. Hey, so we're gonna be here for a while. Grab a snack, grab a nice soda pop or something to get you comfy because the stack is fairly large. We have a birthday, Christmas, New Year's book haul.
It could change the world. On we go.
This video is kind of late, but hear me out. So my birthday is 2 weeks after Christmas and about a week after New Year's. So what happens every year, and the reason I can never get out a book haul on time right after my birthday or right after Christmas, is because I basically start getting mail in the beginning of December, just of me buying things for Christmas gifts and decorations and holiday spirit and other things, and I have to open them in order to make sure that they're the stuff that I need. But sometimes I open them and they're gifts from friends, or stuff that I bought myself. And so right after Christmas, there's always delayed packages that are arriving and then early birthday presents that are arriving. So because these cross over, and a lot of times books that I order or sometimes books from friends will get here a week or 2 or 3 after my birthday because of delayed shipping, I just kind of gotta wait until it feels like nothing else is coming in and then make a video. So thank you so much to all of the friends who sent me stuff. This video is going to be comprised of books that my friends sent me and then books that I got myself. Some are for school, some are for book clubs, some are just for fun. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Let's start off with a more obscure book because this is the only one that doesn't fit into the other 2 piles. This is a book that was given to me by one of my amazing closest friends in real life because my doggo, who you might know if you're already subscribed to my channel, has an affinity for paper and has been eating my books. One of the very first books that she ate, yes, there's been multiple, was a collector's edition from one of my favorite video games, which is Devil May Cry. It was an art book that I got exclusively over 15 years ago, gotta be at least 15 years ago, from pre-ordering one of the games. She ate it. So my friend got me a new art book to substitute that one, so thank you so much, Taylor, for sending this to me. I love you. She got me a Devil May Cry art book. I know I don't talk about video games on this channel, but I have plans to talk about some video games here and there because I am not a huge gamer, but there are a couple series that I am extremely loyal to, and Devil May Cry is one of them. This is more like a coffee table art book. It is in Japanese, and I'm obsessed. The art on the inside with the character designs is gorgeous. I plan on just looking at this when I need inspiration for color palettes, for action poses, and just to like reminisce on one of my favorite video games of all time. I mean, anything that's got my husband Dante on it, I automatically want it and need it in my life. But you might know that I'm obsessed with giant monsters, and this game is all about the giant monsters. So it's me in a book. Love it. Okay, moving on to, I'm gonna go through the pile of books that were sent to me by friends. This one was sent to me by my friend Sasha over at the Redhead Reader. Sasha, thank you so much for sending this to me. I love Sasha's channel so much, and Sasha's such a beautiful person. So thank you for sending me The Glass Hotel. This is one of those books that I completely forgot I had on my wish list. And when I opened the box, I was like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to read this. It's a beautiful cover. I've never read anything by this author before, but this is another book that some bigger booktubers that I trust have enjoyed. So that's what put it on my radar in the first place. These deckled edges are a little bit different from any other deckled edges that I've seen before. They're not, I guess, would you call this deckled edges? I think you would, but it's not like ripped paper at the end. It's more of just at different lengths. So I kind of like this, even though I'm not usually a fan of deckled edges. But briefly, Vincent is a bartender at the Hotel Chayet. Is that French? I don't know. A 5-star hotel in the northernmost tip of Vancouver Island. French. On the night she meets Jonathan Alcatis, yes. A hooded figure scrawls a message on the lobby's glass wall, "Why don't you swallow broken glass?" Leon Provence, a shipping executive for Neptune Avramidis, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce any of these names, reads the words and orders a drink to calm down. The owner of the hotel and wealthy investment manager arrives too late to read the threat, never knowing it was intended for him. He leaves Vincent a $100 tip along with his business card, and a year later they are living together as husband and wife. High above Montana, a greater crime is committed. Alcatis is running an international Ponzi scheme, moving imaginary sums of money through clients' accounts. He holds the life savings of an artist named Olivia Collins. Ha! That's why it was on my TBR. The fortunes of a Saudi prince and his extended family, and countless retirement funds, including Leon Provence. The collapse of the financial empire is as swift as it is devastating, obliterating fortunes and lives while Vincent walks away into the night. Years later, she's... I'm not gonna keep reading. I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't know if that confused you, but that was a long synopsis, and it confused me. But that's okay. We figured out why it's on my TBR, and it looks like a beautiful book, and I hope that I love it. So thank you so much, Sasha, for sending this to me. You're so sweet. My heart just wants to squeal. The amount of love that I've been shown is incredible. Thank you, everyone. And even if you couldn't send me anything, every comment, every just interaction that I get online, whether it be directly on my channel or on Twitter or on Instagram or just wherever, like, thank you, and I appreciate all of you so much. So you guys didn't have to send me anything, but this just means so much to me. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The first one I have on this pile is Winter's Orbit. This was sent to me by the wonderful Lois over at Lo Chan Reads. I've been screaming about wanting to read this for a while, and I've been trying to like submit it to every book club poll that I run, and it just never wins. It never gets the votes. It's fine. But basically, how do I summarize these books when I like to go into books blind? Basically what I do is I read the synopsis, or I hear someone else scream about it, and if they say something that piques my interest, I put it on my TBR and I never look at the synopsis again. But is it a Romeo and Juliet retelling in a way? Two people from different worlds. I think there's a forbidden romance here. They might both be princes from these worlds, so it's a gay romance reuniting against a war, something of that nature. Prince came a famously disappointing minor royal, and the emperor's least favorite grandchild has been called upon to be useful for once. He's been commanded to fulfill an obligation of marriage to the representative of the empire's newest and most rebellious vassal planet. His future husband, Count Janon, is a widower and a murder suspect. Totally not Romeo and Juliet. What was I thinking? Neither wants to be wed, but with the conspiracy unfolding around them and the fate of the empire at stake, they will have to navigate the thorns and barbs of court intrigue, the machinations of war, and the long shadows of Janae's past, and they'll have to do it together. Sci-fi with political intrigue and what is it? And is it enemies to lovers? I don't know what you call this, but thank you, Lois. I'm so excited. So excited. Then we have a book from one of my favorite authors that was sent to me by my friend Melody over at Strawberry Lemon Books. Thank you, Melody, for sending me A Song for the Wild Built. Becky Chambers. I pretty much like scream about Becky Chambers every chance that I get, so I'm not going to scream about them as much as I would like to hear. But a novella from Monken Robot, supposed to be another hope punk book. So sci-fi that just makes my heart flutter. Happy robots make me happy. Then from my friend Charlotte over at The Clumsy, Charlotte sent me A Dowry of Blood. This is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a thicker book, but it's basically a novella, I think. It's 219 pages? Wow, okay, I could probably finish this in like 2 days. The Brides of Dracula polyamorous relationship. Is there an overthrowing of Dracula? Am I getting that correct? I just know that people I trust have screamed about this book. The cover is beautiful. If I can get that glare out of here, it is beautiful. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for sending this to me. You are so sweet. Then I have 2 books that were sent to me by my booktube bestie, Natalie, over at Pastel Writer. Here's the first one. Horror! Native American horror story. I'm expecting to be triggered by this. And if there's any book I read this year that I'm hoping gives me that I'm going to poop my pants, scared, staying up till 1 in the morning feeling, I hope it's this. I really do. But essentially what it says on the back is a tale of revenge, cultural identity, and the cost of breaking from tradition. And this latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature, Stephen Graham Jones, seamlessly blending classic horror and dramatic narrative with sharp social commentary. Following 4 American Indian men after a disturbing event from their youth puts them on a desperate struggle for their lives. I want to be scared out of my pants. Thank you, Natalie, for sending this to me. You are literally the best. And then also Natalie sent me On the Hook, which I'm pretty sure we're going to end up doing as a buddy read. But this, I believe, is a coming-of-age Latinx story, if I'm not mistaken. It's a YA. I really don't know too much about this, but what I am hoping is that this ends up being a book that I would feel comfortable suggesting to my students and help putting into my school library. So it says, Hector has always worked hard and minded his own business. He wants to be captain of his school's chess team, go to college, and help his family make their way to a better life someday. Until Joey singles him out, Joey, whose older brother Chavo is head of the Discípulos gang, tells Hector that he's going to kill him. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but someday. And Hector, frozen with fear, does nothing. From that day forward, Hector's death hangs over his head every time he leaves the house. He tries to fade into the shadows, to drop off Joey's radar, to become no one. But when a fight between Chavo and Hector's brother Fili escalates, Hector is left with no choice but to take a stand. A violent confrontation lands Hector in a reform school where he has to live side by side with his enemy Joey. There it's up to Hector to choose whether he's going to lose himself to anger or seek revenge and get back to the hard work of living. Oh my goodness. Okay, this sounds like a hard-hitting contemporary coming-of-age story that I can see a lot of my students potentially relating to, in the sense of just what it means to work hard and not get sucked into the wrong crowd or violence. Very important. So I'm looking forward to doing a hopefully full review for this sometime this year. Thank you, Natalie, you're the best. Also, Melody sent this to me for Christmas. The other one was for my birthday. Thank you so much, Melody, for sending me Kpop Commentator! Okay, so I've been on the hunt for some really good, gripping K-pop inspired stories, and I got so many hopes that this is going to be the one for me. I want it to be gritty, I want it to be real, I want it to be raw. I'm obsessed with K-pop reality, and this makes me so excited. Okay. Will it be tropey? Probably, but I still have hope. And then the last 3 were all sent to me in this category, were all sent to me by Jane over at the Bookaholic. Jane is such a sweetheart. Jane, thank you so much. I've enjoyed hosting and just doing different events and stuff with Jane over the past year. So please definitely go check out Jane's channel, and everyone else that I've mentioned, if they have a channel, I'm going to link it in the description. What am I saying? If they do, of course they do. They're my booktube friends. Yes, they have channels. Go check out their channels. So the first one being Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. I think this is the first in either a duology or a trilogy. I'm not entirely sure. Listen to that crack. Breaking the spine. Brand new book. Look at that. Okay, very short synopsis here, very short. It says, she's the adopted child of the angel of death. Beware of her, mind her, death guards her like one of its own. The day Fatima forgot her name, death paid a visit. From this moment on, she would be known as Sankofa, a name that meant nothing to anyone but her, the only tie to her family and her past. Her touch is death, and with a glance a town can fall, and she walks alone except for her fox companion, searching for the object that came from the sky and gave itself to her when the meteors fell and when she was yet unchanged, searching for answers. Is there a greater purpose for Sankofa now that death is her constant companion? Yep, that sounds like a me book if I ever read one. Yep, I thoroughly enjoyed Nnedi Okorafor's writing, even though Binti didn't make it onto a favorites list last year. So I'm really excited to give this author another chance. Thank you so much, Jane, for this. And then Jane also sent me The Year of the Witching. All of these spooky vibes and all of these books. Yes, it's the year of horror. It's the year of suspense. It's the year of me like screaming out, running out of my pants. Why am I always trying to get out of my pants?
You lucky if I'm wearing pants.
And then another book that I've been trying to read because it's been hyped up as a really good horror thriller, Near the Bone. It's so exciting. It's a thriller set in the woods and it's dark. Is there a giant monster? I don't know. I'm just sitting here reading you synopses and getting myself typed and remembering why I put these books on my TBR. It's incredible. Okay, here we go with books that I got myself as birthday gifts or for book clubs that are coming up or for school. Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones, a novella that I'm reading or have read at this point of the video being posted. I don't know when. The Haunted Corner Book Club. I want to support my friends' book clubs as much as possible this year and everyone else's readathons and stuff. And this is a beautiful cover of a Native American horror story. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm knowing. It's super short, so I really don't want to know anything going into this, but it's so velvety soft and I just want to rub it on my face. It's like super velvety. Oh, I love these kinds of covers. They're so soft, they feel like pillows. Then I got myself, because I'm one of the hosts for a year-long Stephen King read-along that's happening, some Stephen King books. I've got the first 2 books in the Wendys Button box trilogy. Book 3 I think is coming out either February or March. And then I also got myself Rose Matter. I have not read any of these before, so I needed a copy for my shelves. These 2, I have no idea what these are about, but these are some of King's newest books co-authored with Richard Chismar. And then Rose Matter is an older book. This is an older copy, and I think, is this about art? It might be about art. I've heard this is one of his more scary works, but I could be wrong. Roused by a single drop of blood on the bedsheet, Rosie Daniels wakes from 14 years of a nightmare marriage and suddenly takes flight. She uses her husband's ATM card to buy a bus ticket, determined to lose herself in a place where he won't find her. She'll worry about the rest later. Alone in a strange city, she begins to make a new life and good things start to happen. Meeting Bill is one and finding a junk shop painting is another. It may be bad art, but it's perfect for her new apartment, and somehow it seems to want her as much as she wants it. Oh, okay. And then these two, I'm not going to read the synopsis of both. I guess I'll just read a little bit of the synopsis of the first book, which is Wendys Button Box. So basically, what is this about? The little town of Castle Rock, Maine has witnessed some strange events and unusual visitors over the years, but there is one story that has never been told until now. In the summer of 1974, 12-year-old Wendy Peterson encounters a stranger sitting on a park bench. Is this about the man in black? No way. No way. No way. Wait. Wait. A bunch of friends, me and my friends on the Stephen King live show recently were talking about, it might have been Mazza that brought it up, I think, about what if there was a story about the man in black's origin? Is this it? No way. No way. Stop. Okay, I could be totally wrong. Something that I think needs to be made clear is that Stephen King is not fully a horror writer. Everyone knows him for his horror books, but really most of his books are not horror books. They're like supernatural thrillers, which I think my friend Mazza pointed out recently in our thing. Either it was Mazza or Max, I don't remember, but that was a very good point, that only a few of his books are truly horror or horrifying, and not all of them are. So I have a feeling this is going to fall more into the like supernatural fantastical realm. That's a video for another day. If anyone wants me to make a video about the broad range of Stephen King books that are fall into horror and some that do not, I would like to eventually read all of his books to make like a full comparison video, but that's a lot of books, and I think at this point I might have only read like 20, like a little over like 25 of his books or something like that, so still got a long way to go. And then I got for myself the Onearmed Sister Sweeps Her House. This was, I think it was one of Lois's favorite books from my friend Lois's channel, Lo Chan Reads. So when I got this at Barnes & Noble's, it was on the 50% off day. I saw it and I immediately grabbed it because I really enjoy listening to Lois's reviews about hard-hitting stories, which means that I also don't know too much about this. Something about it, something that she said really made this resonate with me and I wanted it. So it says, Lala's grandmother Wilma tells the story of a one-armed sister. It's a cautionary tale about what happens to girls who disobey their mothers and go into the Baxter's tunnels. When she's grown, Layla lives on the beach with her husband Aiden, a petty criminal with endless charisma, whose thwarted burglary of one of the beach mansions sets off a chain of events with terrible consequences. A gunshot no one was meant to witness, a new mother whose baby is found lifeless on the beach, a woman torn between two worlds and incapacitated by grief. Okay, Lois did say that I should prepare a box of tissues. Oh my god, that could be super triggering. Okay. It takes place in Barbados. One of my all-time triggers is harm to small children, so I need to be in the right headspace to get into this, but I am still really excited to find some new hard-hitting literary fiction. So thank you so much to Lois for screaming off the rooftops for this, and I will let you know what I think. Next, I have The Weightless World by Adam Soto. I am going to do my best to try to get this to win a poll for the Sci-Fi Book Club because I want to read this with friends. Something tells me that this is going to be a good one, and it's not just the fact that the cover is gorgeous. Just listen to this. Just listen to this, okay? This is when I saw this at Barnes & Noble's and it was 50% off. First of all, I saw it before at regular price and I wanted to get it, but your girl does not have $30 for a book. But then they had it at 50% off and I said, I can't say no, you know? So a debut novel subverting a classic sci-fi trope set in gentrified Chicago, the tech boom corridors of Silicon Valley, and across the vastness of the cosmos. The Weightless World follows a revolving cast of characters after a mysterious signal from outer space upends their lives. Sevi is a burned-out music teacher desperate for connection, fighting to find meaning in rekindled love. Ramona, his on-again, off-again computer programmer girlfriend, is determined to build an AI to prevent mankind's destruction. When the signal, at first seen as a sign of hope, stops as abruptly as it started, they are all forced to reckon with its aftermath. A dazzling destruction of science fiction tropes. The Weightless World looks to the past for a version of the future. Potential apocalyptic story with a teacher at its center and art. The arts. I just want to like get it into my head. If I could like melt this, I can blend it and I can just like pour it in, I can drink it. I would read this right now. But I can't because I have so many other things that I have to read. So if you want to help me make us on a poll for the Sci-Fi Club and read it with us, that would be nice. Join the Discord. It's in the link below. This book I've already read and plan on doing a single review for. It is We Have Always Been Here by Lena Nguyen. I read this in January for my sci-fi book club, for the Interstellar Book Club. This was voted for the January pick. And man, this took a lot of brain power. But essentially, it's about a woman who is a psychologist on an expedition to a new planet that is trying to be cultivated, but it's a locked room in a spaceship story. It's marketed as horror. It's more psychological horror. To me, it wasn't very scary, but it covers a lot of hard sci-fi tropes. And so there's a lot of things in here that I would like to dissect in a single book review video that I hope to put out soon, maybe. But if you want a full review for this now and you'd like to see the discussion for it from our live show, I'll put the link up above. But yeah, it was a good time. It took all of my brain. It took all 5 of my brain cells to get through this book, and I'm interested in seeing what some other friends will think about this. So I might recommend this to some friends. But there we have it. And then for school, I have Duty Free Art by Hito Sterol, Art in the Age of Planetary Civil War. I literally just went to Amazon and got it because it's the textbook for this semester for grad school. But what is this? It's got a super short synopsis. In Duty Free Art, filmmaker and writer Hito Sterol wonders how we can appreciate or even make art in the present age, exploring subjects as diverse as video games, the WikiLeaks files, the proliferation of free ports, and political actions. She exposes the paradoxes within globalization, political economies, visual culture, and the status of art production. Sounds like it might be related to my thesis. I don't know. I don't know yet. Should we do that thing? Okay, if you made it to this point, leave an emoji of like your favorite food. Does that sound good? I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know. I don't know. So those are all the books that I got for this haul. Thank you again to everyone who sent me books. I really appreciate all of you. That is it for this video. I post videos every week, and I'll see you later. Bye!
What's it making, Mr. Wonka? Mr. Wonka worked the factory.
In your wildest